The music at the birthday party was loud and cheerful, balloons floated near the ceiling, and laughter filled the beautifully decorated hall, but in the middle of all that happiness stood two small twin girls, holding each other's hands tightly as if that was the only safe thing left in the world, their dresses simple and slightly worn, their eyes filled with confusion and quiet fear, because moments earlier, a sharply dressed woman with a forced smile had bent down and told them they didn't belong here, that this party was only for invited guests, even though the twins had only come because they were hungry and had seen the lights from outside, and for a few minutes they had felt like normal kids again, watching cake candles glow and listening to songs they barely knew the words to, but now whispers followed them as people stared, some with pity, others with annoyance, and the twins didn't cry loudly, they didn't shout or beg, they just lowered their heads and started walking toward the exit, clutching the tiny plastic toys they had been given, when suddenly the room fell strangely quiet, because a tall man in an expensive suit had stopped clapping, his smile fading as his eyes locked onto the two small figures near the door, and something deep inside him cracked. A memory he had buried under years of success and money rushed back all at once, memories of cold nights, empty stomachs, and being told he didn't belong anywhere either, and without saying a word, he began walking across the room, each step slow but heavy, people parting instinctively, unsure of what was happening, until he knelt in front of the twins, bringing himself down to their level, and gently asked why they were leaving, and when one of the girls whispered, "They said we shouldn't be here," his jaw tightened. The billionaire everyone admired, feared, and respected felt anger rise in his chest, not the loud kind, but the dangerous quiet kind, and he stood up, turning to face the guests, his voice calm but cutting through the air like a blade, as he asked who had decided that these children didn't belong, and when the same woman stepped forward, trying to laugh it off and explain about standards and image, he raised his hand, stopping her mid-sentence, and told everyone in the room that this party, this building, and everything they could see belonged to him, and that these twins were his daughters, not by blood perhaps, but by truth, because he had once been exactly where they were, and no one had stood up for him. A gasp rippled through the crowd, faces turning pale, people realizing too late the weight of their judgment, and then he did something no one expected. He canceled the party music, called the staff, and asked them to bring the biggest cake forward, placing it right in front of the twins, lighting the candles again just for them, telling them this celebration was now theirs, and that anyone who believed children should be measured by clothes or money was free to leave. One by one, guests began to slip away, embarrassed and silent, while the twins stared up at him, unsure if this kindness was real or just another moment that would disappear. But when he wrapped his coat around their shoulders and smiled softly, telling them they were safe, that they mattered, that they always belonged, something changed not only in that room, but in every heart watching, because this wasn't just a story about a party or a billionaire, it was about dignity, about seeing people when the world tries to make them invisible. And as the twins finally smiled, blowing out the candles with laughter replacing fear, the man looked toward the camera, breaking the invisible wall between story and viewer, reminding everyone that kindness can rewrite destinies, that standing up for the powerless is the greatest wealth of all. And if this story touched your heart, if you believe the world needs more moments like this, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because every subscription helps us share more powerful stories that remind us who we really are, and together, we can make kindness louder than judgment.